Hi everyone, Paul Morbid here, Morbid Team Entertainment and Bolex Repair Philippines. In this video I'm going to answer the question for one of the most often sought after questions that I get for the longest time. So I'm going to show you about that. I'm going to answer that question, and that is, after you've ordered and you've received your Bolex Reflex, Bolex non-Rex from an online market where the post had read from the seller that it fully worked, you get it in and you wind it up, or it's already wound up, and you press the shutter button here and the motor will not wind down. Okay, so what's the problem there, and how can you get the motor wound all the way down? Well, I'm going to show you about that. Okay, first, a few precautions. Okay, what you want to do is not do this. By the way, do disregard the front turret that I've got pulled off of here. I'm just working on this camera for the longest time. Do not do this to yours, because if you do, you'll have to reset the timing of the shutter and pull down the claw. Alright, what you want to do is not do this. You do not want to take a can of WD-40 and spray around inside of here, because it will do nothing more than gunk up the inside of the camera and cause more issues. Okay? So, here's the deal. Down below right here in the film compartment and around here is where the motor is located, the spring clutch motor barrel. Okay? Inside that clutch motor barrel is graphite grease. It's coated in graphite grease, and it's just gotten old through the decades and it's gunked up. So how can you get it wound down? Okay? You've already wound it back this way again. You wound it back this way here, and you've got it clipped back. You've pressed it here. We'll go through it again. The motor will not wind down. Alright? So how can you get it down? Here's the answer. Hair dryer. You want to take this hair dryer and you want to apply heat to the motor right here. Right on this area. Okay? Right around in here. That's where you want to do it for about 45 seconds. And at the same time that you're doing this, performing this motion, take your finger. See where my finger is right here? Okay? And you want to apply your finger and press down the shutter. Keep it pressed down and apply the heat. Just like that. Okay? And eventually, and generally 95% of the time, this winds down the motor. Most of the time. Okay? And that's it. It may do it slowly and speed up, but generally it winds the motor all the way down and solves your issue for that. But even though if it solves your issue, it doesn't mean that you can go on filming with this camera instantly. You'll have to go in and send it to a service technician so they can dismantle this camera and give it a full new CLA, clean, lubed, and adjustment, if you don't know what that stands for. Because upon colder weather, your camera will lock up. Okay? So that is the answer to that question. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to show you about the motor and how it gets locked up and what the inside of the motor looks like if you don't know. So let's get into that. Okay, this is a Bolex spring motor barrel, and the spring is inside. This is the entire motor right here. Okay? And you can see the gears that go along here. Okay? All the way around. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to open it up. You've got screws that go all the way around. And I'm going to show you the inside of this. Alright, so let me get this unscrewed. And I'm going to show you what's going on the inside, alright? Alright, I got the screws off all the way around here. And it is really dangerous opening these things up, so it's not advised you doing this yourself. I just want to show you the inside. Lift it up in the corner. we go, we finally got some room. Play for it to move. Okay, got my thumb holding everything on top of there. There's a bottom plate. You got all this graphite grease. See it? Okay. This is the spring inside. You see how tight that's wound? All this is graphite grease in there. And you have this arbor in the center. It's just like an old antique clock. That's exactly what it is. Okay? I've changed this graphite grease in this motor. If you've got an original motor and with original grease from decades ago, this grease is old, it's gunky, and that prevents the motor from winding down. That's the problem. You'll need to send it to a technician, and they have to take this motor out of the camera, remove the spring and check it for breaks, and they'll have to clean it, re-lube it and everything. I have a video on this entire situation, which you can check that out on the channel here, okay? And so pretty much and essentially that is that. Get this back on here and line these up. Okay, so essentially that's the deal right there. So again, to get that motor moving, add heat with the hair dryer at the lower part of the Bolex where the motor is, and press and hold down the shutter button at the same time. Even though you get that done before you film with it, with a camera, send it to a technician to get a full CLA, clean, lubed, and adjustment on it. In colder weather, it very will lock up on you. You got to get that old graphite grease removed, the clutch barrel inside cleaned, and the spring checked for cracks and anything like that, and the spring cleaned and re-lubed, everything re-lubed and put back together. It's quite a lengthy process, and it can be quite costly. Alright, so get that done first. It's something you do not want to attempt by yourself, and you're going to find it be worth doing it by a reputable technician. And if you get into it by yourself, you can actually damage the camera, and the camera can become junk in seconds, and it's very dangerous as well. Alright, do contact me at the social media outlets provided on the screen, and remember, as always, do subscribe. Until next time, see ya!